All right, so I just had a good friend hit me up, and she is trying to do a shirt design with some text, and she wants to manipulate it in Procreate. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to do a how-to. Let's get into it. All right, so the first thing I like to do with any canvas, let's go to Canvas, Drawing Guide, and I like to have a grid. So then after that, I like to change the background color, wrong pencil, to a soft blue. Just usually helps the eyes. Add text. Now you're kind of limited on fonts here, so you can only have so many. So let's just say super. I'm gonna duplicate it just because we need these to be separate text layers. All right, so whenever you click, so let's click into your font layer, okay? Select it, so you can see it's selected, and then we're gonna choose warp, okay? So in the example she showed me, it was clean on top and then warped on the bottom. So what you wanna do is you'll want to come in here and start dragging down these points, and you'll see each intersection is where you can drag. So let's just pull this up here. And you can even pull intersections in the middle to where you can kind of pull it all the way over here to show an extreme example. So let's just say that's fine where we want it, and we want to do this now. So same thing, go back to warp and repeat the process, and you can kind of pull these letters to fill the space. And that's where some of these middle ones come through. And you can kind of start pulling each point down to where you want it. And something to be careful of, you see how this curve happens? Try to keep everything straight. And the way to do that is to start grabbing these midpoints in the middle here to start adjusting. All right, so then, and of course, if you have your iPad set up, double click as an undo. Font. So same thing, go back to warp. We're just repeating the process here. And then you can start moving. If you want to then move it again, you have to do uniform so you can move it down and then back to warp. In the design example she had, it was kind of flat on top and flat on the bottom, so I'm going to keep that same thing going. So right now it's on uniform. Now I'm going to switch to warp when I have it placed where I kind of want it. And you can use your finger or your pencil. And if you need to move around the screen, just pull up over here, off to the side, around your bounding boxes. Well, let's kind of undo that. So I'm double clicking to undo. So that's more or less a quick example of how you can adjust these fonts. Now you can go back into them still, click in and warp, and you can still do some more extreme examples of warping. So you can do some side examples like that, and you can start playing with the direction of the type and start causing it to bend and twist, which can be pretty cool. I'm going to pull this up, and then this one went this way, so I'm going to pull this one this way. We're going to start pulling everything in the middle. If you grab the outsides, it will push your design like that. So if you grab the insides, it'll keep your outsides of your text kind of together, but you still have to do some adjusting. All right, so we're going to pull this up, make it a little more funky, and then do this. Boom. All right, so now we have our design, okay? So we can go ahead and do one of two things. We can group all these together, so this is something I like to do. So if you do a slide, you can select multiple layers, and I like to group them. And then I like to slide to the left and duplicate this group so that I have an editable layer, and then I just sandwich and squish all these together Now I made this one invisible so that I can have, so let's just say I wanted to change the color of this. I could pull a piece of pink and start dropping in color. If you wanted to change all of this to pink, drop it, don't lift the pencil up and pull to the right. But then you can also, to show you how you can edit the color of this, make a selection, which if you zoom in, you'll see these diagonal lines that's blocking out the background, and this is where your pen will paint. So let's just say you wanted to add some different colors on top of this. I just made a new layer. Let's choose a green, and I'm going to start dropping in a green and every other letter. All right, and then let's just say I want this black background to be black. Boom. All right, so now you have your design, and let's just say you want to put it on an actual t-shirt, okay? So the way you're gonna do that is remove your background, and if you can see, this is all the checkered background of the program. It means that you have a transparent layer. Double check and make sure all layers that you don't want to be visible are checked off, and go ahead to share, and we're gonna share a PNG. So this PNG will make a transparent image that you can superimpose on top of a shirt image. So let's go ahead and grab a shirt. And just to show you a quick reference, we can click here. What I'm gonna do is zoom in and take a screenshot of this guy. Doop. Edit my screenshot real quick. Done, save to photos. I'm gonna bring it right back into Photoshop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this off. I'm going to put back in my background, but this time I'm gonna change it to white. I'm gonna zoom out, so this is my whole canvas here. I'm going to add that t-shirt image that I just took a screenshot of. Let's go ahead, and it's uniform. We're not on warp, so we're making this uniform. I don't like looking at his face. So let's just go there. All right, so now to pull in our design to superimpose this, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna insert a photo, and it's gonna drop in my transparent PNG that I had saved to my albums right on top of this. And now I can, down there, and I can even mess with the opacity to bring it down a little bit so it isn't as bright, so it looks like it's actually on the shirt. And I'm gonna go ahead and take away my grid lines of my canvas. Boom. And then let's just say you wanted to export this so that you actually have an image of it. You can go ahead and share this to your phone. You can airdrop the JPEG to your phone. Just go ahead and do that. So there you go. All right, if that video was helpful at all, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and until next time.